Hello students, now we will study about organizing. As you all know, organizing is the second function in the process of management. Till now we have made the plans. Now how the plans will be converted into action. This is done by organizing. Organizing basically translates plan into action. Organizing decide who will perform the particular task and where it will be performed. According to Theo Hamann, organizing is the process of defining and grouping the activities of the enterprise and establishing authority and relationship among them. Now, how the people organize the thing? When they make the plans, they provide everything for implementing the plan, like arrangement of raw material, machinery, tools, capital, labor, assigning duties. All this is done under organizing. Now next is process of organizing. Process of organizing has 4 steps. First is identification and division of work. This is the first step in the process of organizing, identification and division of work. First of all, the whole work is divided into smaller parts. Like for example, you are going to make the mobile phone, so whatever activities will be doing for manufacturing the mobile phone, like purchase of raw material, purchase of tools, purchase of equipment, purchase of machinery, then appointment of labor, training of labor, arrangement of capital, then packaging, labeling, designing the label, deciding the brand name. That means all the activities are divided into smaller parts so that each task can be performed by the individual, so that there should not be any duplication of activities. And when you divide the work into smaller parts, you assign a smaller part of work to each and every person, and when that person repeatedly perform the same task, we get the benefit of specialization. So first step in the organizing is dividing the whole work into smaller parts. Then like you can see here, then next step is very important step, that is departmentalization. What is departmentalization? Grouping similar jobs and related activity into larger units. These are called departments. Grouping the activities of similar nature into one large unit. That unit can be called as department, section, so that there we get the benefit of specialization. Now how you can make the departments? Departments can be made on the basis of functions like marketing, personal, finance. On the basis of product, like if our company is making more than one product, we can make department like textile, chemical, power division. Or it can be on the basis of area or territory like western division, northern division, central division. You can make department in this way. Here he has made the department on the basis of function like human resource, purchase, production, marketing. Then our third step in the organizing is assignment of duties. Whenever you will assign the duties, you have to keep in mind duties must be assigned according to the ability of the person. Whenever you are giving the duties, because when departments are performed, then the duties are assigned. So duties must be assigned according to the qualification, experience, ability and aptitude of the people. That means the person who is best suited for doing that job, he must be given that job only. Like activities of finance should be assigned to the person having qualification and experience in finance. Similarly, for giving the production, we must be giving the task to the person who has the knowledge of production process, machines, tools, equipments. Then establishing reporting relations. This is also the last step of organizing. That means here we decide who will report to whom. Here we decide the superior subordinate relationship. That means who will be the superior and who will be the subordinate. From whom you have to take orders and to whom you can give orders. So this this step creates managerial hierarchy, a chain of command from top manager to individual, so that there is coordination in the organization. This is the superior and they are the subordinate. This person can report to him and he has to report to whom, and the superior can give order to these two subordinates. So this is the clarity in working relation, determining reporting relation. That means person from whom you will take order and to whom you will be giving order. So process of organizing must be clear to everyone. There are 4 steps: identification and division of work, departmentalization, assigning duties, and establishing authority relationship. Now coming to the next topic, that is importance of organizing. Importance of organizing is basically derived from the process of organizing. Our first step was dividing the work into smaller tasks. When we divide the work into smaller tasks, we are assigning the work to only a single person. When you give the task only to one person, that means now the person will get, the organization will get the benefit of specialization, because you have divided the work into smaller units and repetitively performance leads to specialization. Second importance is clarity in working relationships. As you know, now we have well defined jobs. Departments are created, posts are created, reporting relations are clearly defined. So there is clarity in the working relationship. Each one know who has to report to whom. Another importance of organizing is effective administration. That means now everyone know what is his job in the organization, what are his duties and what are his authorities. So there is no confusion regarding the limit of the authority, regarding the extent of responsibility. So there is no duplication of work. This clarity help in the proper execution of work, which results in effective administration. Another importance of organizing is adaptation to change. If you have made the organization structure flexible, that you can easily change your organization structure according to the changes in the environment. For example, new technology has arrived, or your one unit is not running into profit, so you can stop that unit. Or you want to expand your business, you can start a new department, you can make new department without disturbing the other department. Then another advantage is development of personnel. Personnel means people working in the organization. When in the organization we create the organization structure, then the manager delegates his authority to the subordinates to reduce his workload. When the subordinate perform the work of his superior, he takes decision, he does the work which has to be done by the superior, he become capable to acquire higher position gradually. It develops confidence in him, it develops his ability and help him to work with his full potential. Next is expansion and growth. Organizing also help in the growth and diversification of the enterprise, because now you can add, I told you earlier also, you can add more job position, you can add one more department, you can make new product lines, you can explore new area for selling your product. So organizing help in the expansion and growth of the business. Now coming to the next topic, our next topic is organizational structure. What is organizational structure? Organizational structure is basically the framework within which various posts are created to perform various activities for the attainment of the objective of the organization. This structure establishes relationship among all the people working in the organization. It also states the relationship people working at different posts. So basically organization structure is the framework. Framework is the key word in which managerial and operating tasks are performed. Now there is relationship between span of management and organization structure. What is span of management? Span of management means number of subordinates that can be effectively handled by the superior. Normally it should not be more than 5 or 6. The span of management gives shape to the organization structure. That means where the span of management are small, then you will have taller organization structure. Whereas if span of management is wider, then you will have flatter या broader organization structure. Like you can see, here the span of management is wider. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subordinates that are handled by COO, Chief Operating Officer. So we have wider, we have broader, we have flatter organization structure. And suppose if there are 4 subordinates under the superior, then we will have taller organization structure. Now organization structure in your course, you have to do the organization structure of 2 types: functional organization structure and divisional organization structure. Now what is functional organization structure? In the functional organization structure, activities are grouped and departments are created on the basis of functions like production, marketing, sales. This is functional organization structure. It leads to occupational specialization. It is suitable when you are making only one product. When there is only one line of product, then you use functional organization structure. And if you require high degree of specialization, then you use functional specialization, then you use functional organization structure. As you can see here, departments are created on the basis of function: human resource, purchase, production, marketing. Now what are the advantages of functional organization structure? Everyone can know when one work is performed by only one person, or each person is performing same work again and again, then you will get the benefit of specialization. Then coordination is established because all the person within departments are specialists of their job. CEO will try to create coordination between the human resource manager, marketing manager, function manager. Then it will help in improving the managerial efficiency because manager is performing same type of function again and again. So he will become specialized and his efficiency will improve. Functional organization structure also help in minimizing the cost as there will be minimum duplication of efforts. There will be economies of scale and the cost will be reduced. Now what are the disadvantages of functional structure? This is the major disadvantage: ignorance of organization is objective. Sometimes, like production manager is concentrating only on production, he is increasing the production while the marketing department is facing the problem of shortage of orders. But in order to show his efficiency, production manager is continuously making new products. Ultimately the organization will have to suffer as there will not be lack of sales. So sometimes departmental head ignore the organizational objectives. They work according to their own wish and this lead to the loss to the organization. Then difficulty in interdepartmental coordination. Production manager easily create coordination in his own department, but he is not ready to coordinate with the marketing manager. So it is a great difficulty in the functional organization structure. Then hurdle in complete development, because each employee specialize only in small part of the whole job. Like if I want to promote production manager to the post of CEO, I cannot do that because he is only efficient in production activities, he is not aware about finance, human resource. So there is incomplete development of the personnel.